running backs other than Nick Chubb. We know what he can do, but Jerome Ford coming in, looking to make a splash in his second year. Some of the other guys, what do you see him?
Guys competing hard, focusing on what we got to do and seeing their athletic ability.
What were you able to see from that first preseason game?
Well, from Jerome and Nick, of course, didn't play, but from John Kelly, things that he's been displaying all since he's been here, ability to run the ball, ability to catch the ball, make plays. Same thing from Demetric Felton, had an opportunity to settle in as a running back, showed his ability to make plays, and Hassan Hall as well. But they did what they were supposed to do. First preseason game, we were kind of like in a match where we're not going to blitz, a whole lot. So both teams were on that same phase. We didn't get a chance to see them pick up, but we have in training camp.
How much has Jerome, in what ways has Jerome improved from this point last year?
I would say just an understanding of the offense, improve as a person in terms of being a better teammate. And also, we know what he did with special teams in terms of kickoffs. Hopefully he'll still have an opportunity to do that and prove he can be even better at it.
You think he can catch the ball out of the backfield? You've seen enough of that. We haven't seen it in games. Jerome.
No, absolutely. All the backs can catch the ball out of the backfield. You haven't seen as much from Nick as you have, but you will see more this upcoming season.
What has Nick done to improve in that area? Or was he always good at it and he just never really got the opportunity?
That's exactly right, America. He was always good at it, he never got the opportunity. I think Nick may have dropped last year one ball, but he's good in everything that he does, and he always tries to work on all the traits that he does well, and if he's slacking in one, he tried to work to improve in that as well.
Stump. In Kansas City, in the playoff game in Kansas City, he was kind of mad at himself for dropping a couple of short passes. It seemed like he really made an effort after that to go out and get better at it. Does that have anything to do with it?
No, I mean, it was a screen pass that he actually dropped, and he's been great in screens. Any receiver, if they're not focusing on the ball, because they know they have good hands, they have a tendency every now and then to turn away before they actually tuck the ball in. As a result, usually it ends up in a drop.
Stump, it looked like Felton feels more natural in the backfield than he did in the slot, and doing what he was doing last year. Do you see that?
I see the fact that so far this training camp, he has not had to go into the receiver's room. So he's not fluctuating mentally where he's supposed to be. Now, I'm constantly drilling him in on the plays of the receivers, because if something was to happen to one of those guys, he needs to be able to go in and play. We don't need to be able to wait until the next week to say, now you got to play. He needs to be able to go in and play right away.
Now, the question about him, I would think, in the backfield, is he too light? Can he compete in real games at that position?
Absolutely he can. I mean, we're not asking him to be a starter. We're asking him to be a part-time player for the most part. But to be successful on special teams, he's got to be special on special teams in order to make this ball club. He can do things as a running back and as a receiver. So he's got to focus in primarily on special teams, and if given an opportunity, he'll be successful as a running back.
Stump, I know last year, we talked about Demetric, and you talked about Demetric and his versatility being one of his strengths with being able to play either position, but just coming back into that room and how has he handled that transition mentally and all those sort of things?
Oh, that's not an issue for him. The biggest thing is going to be in protection, and we're not going to ask him to do that a whole heck of a lot, but when given the opportunity, when it presents itself, he's got to be able to do it.
Being the run game coordinator also, can you talk about the transition to this kind of shotgun and pistol running game?
Well, we ran shotgun last year. Well, we've always ran shotgun, so that's not a big deal. And pistol it's not a big deal. We're still running the same plays for the most part, and the backs can adjust to whatever position that they're in.
Do the wide zone out of that?
Yes, we do.
And you think Chubb had to learn proper footwork and spacing out of that, or no?
No, he's been doing that ever since I got here, 4 years. So that's not a big deal for him.
Why is it that historically running games have suffered out of the shotgun, and now they don't seem to?
Well, I think it's probably more due to the back than anything else. Sometimes these guys are impatient, They start cutting before they should, and they don't allow any of the interior linemen or the tight ends to be able to get on their block. So we've been working constantly on pressing our run tracks.
Stump, how surprised are you, perhaps, that Kareem has not found a new home yet? And what do you think a team might be getting if they sign Kareem at this point?
You know, I really don't want to speak on Kareem. I'd rather focus in on the backs that we have here. Everybody watch film. I don't know how they evaluate people, you know, but I think the guys we have here right now are doing pretty good.
Stump, another off season where we see Nick like squatting 600 pounds back at home before he gets here, and I guess just the work he's willing to put in, like with that, and getting better in the pass game, even though he's in year, a veteran now in this position. What does that say about him?
He's never taken anything for granted. I mean, he's always going back to his high school. That's where he's working out. He has an impact on those young men, and he still gets his work in. So we're pleased with where he's at, and he's constantly, working to maintain and be one of the top backs in the league.
You mentioned patience. Is that one of Chubb's attributes?
That sometimes he's not as patient in the gun as he is from the dot or from the home position, but that's something we're working on.
And he's got to be patient out of gun.
Absolutely.
Stump, you mentioned that Nick Chubb just maybe didn't get those opportunities to be a pass catcher in his role. But when he is doing that, obviously he does what he's asked a lot. That's kind of the attribute you guys have given him. But has he had a reaction to having more of that work in training camp and having that potential to maybe take that role on?
Well, he's got more work in training camp at that role because we don't have Kareem, which I'm not going to talk about. So now Nick is in there on third down as well. So yes, he's had an opportunity to run more of those routes. Even though he did it during training camp the past 3 or 4 years, he was not that guy, unless he had to be.
But is that something that could maybe translate to the season with no Kareem Hunt being here? If that continues, right? Is that something Nick Chubb would do in a regular season?
Oh, absolutely. And he did it some during the regular season the past couple of years if Kareem was hurt. But now he's going to be their first, second, and third down guy. When he's tired or when coach wants to substitute Jerome in, Jerome will go in as that 1, 2, 3 down back.
What made you guys so confident, since Jerome hasn't been able to get any reps yet in the pros? What makes you feel like he's going to be really good?
Well, we're on his butt about it. He's bought into wanting to be that guy. So, these guys are working extremely hard. They know if they do their job, it will allow everybody else to do their job.
How does he Jerome complement Nick in the way they run?
Well, they both are fast. They both are explosive. Nick probably has a little more power than Jerome does, but I would hope Jerome would try to match the stats that Nick can put up.
A year ago, almost in the same spot on the same day, you were very high on Jerome as a rookie coming in. How different is he now? Where's his growth been?
I think his growth has been just in having confidence in himself, getting along better with his teammates. That's a huge thing, and understanding that there's the things that comes with a rookie that he really didn't accept last year. Well, he's still a rookie for 9 games, so he's going to do some of those things that he didn't do last year.
Stump, last year you guys ran inside zone maybe about 27 to 30 times, but it looked like you guys maybe hit that number 15 times on Thursday night. Can you talk about the transition for running backs of switching up their landmarks, their track a little bit to more inside zone, especially out of gun, than they were used to last year?
Well, of course, inside zone we're much tighter. We're focusing on the guards, whereas in outside zone you're wider. You're focusing either on the tight ends or the ghost tight end.
Stump, Nick had over 300 touches for the first time in a single season last year, and
this is the last one, guys.
A little bit about how much running back touches can wear on a guy and how they can make you kind of wear down over the season. With him taking more passes now, are you worried about managing the number of touches he has? Are you worried about how it might wear on him over the course of the season?
Not at all. We got a regen room here. Nick does everything he's supposed to do in order to take care of his body. We're looking forward to it.